everyone! If you enjoy the video, please leave a like and comment what type of content you would like to see next time. Also, only a small percentage of people that watch my videos are actually subscribed. So if you end up liking the video, consider subscribing. Check out the Patreon in the video description for more stories by my team. Enjoy the video!
Joni took us to a store where she bought several more pairs of gaff panties. Then we hit a discount store and got Kerry a few more bras and some makeup in her own colors. Joni hadn't spent a whole lot of money, but managed to get Kerry what she'd need to wear to work. We went by the mall and stopped at the food court. Kerry, of course, wanted a burger and fries and to chow down the way she would as Kent. Joni made her get some Chinese, then eat it in a more ladylike fashion. Can we go back to the apartment? I feel like a fool wandering around the mall looking like this. Kerry, baby, you are going to be like this all day at work. You might just as well get comfortable with it now. I have to pee. Celia, watch our stuff as I accompany Kerry to the ladies' room. The women's restroom? Do I have to? Seriously, do you want to walk into the men's restroom looking like that? No, but what do you think you're going to do at work when you have to go? Are you going to try to hold it all day? Fine, let's go. Kerry got up and Joni took her hand and walked her to the restroom. They came back about 5 minutes later, and sat down and we all finished lunch. Let's wander around the mall and do some window shopping. Do we have to? Yeah, as a matter of fact, we do. Sis, I know I embarrassed you when we were younger, but you've paid me back many times over. You've barely started to pay me back. You had me nude in front of your friends, not just once, but a bunch of times. Hell, Joni and I are the only ones here who know you're in drag. I know, but it's still humiliating. The fact that you think wearing women's clothes is humiliating says a lot about what you think of women. I really am sorry for what I did back then. Then shut up, relax, and enjoy your walk on the wild side. After a while, Kerry barely even seemed to notice what she was wearing. Either that or she was just suppressing the knowledge. We didn't really buy anything more, just hung out and wandered the mall like 3 girlfriends. After a while we went back to my place, made dinner, ate it, and then watched a couple of romantic movies on cable, with Kerry sitting on the sofa between Joni and I during one commercial break. Kerry spoke up. I don't understand why Kent would not be hired, while Kerry would, unless it is blatant sexism. You don't even see yourself, do you? What do you mean? Kent is loud, proud, brash, and obnoxious. So, Kerry is more quiet and demure. I'm that different? You are. Men talk over women and drown them out. They try to push their ideas through. When you're Kerry, you act more like a woman and less like a man. At that point, Joni spoke up too, and that's good. That's why Kerry will fit in while Kent never would. But I don't like being Kerry, and I don't want men to notice me. You may not like it, but where I work, it's a big advantage. You don't exactly seem quiet and retiring. No, but I'm not as loud and pushy as most men either. So this is what I have to do? Joni leaned over and kissed Kerry and began stroking first her arm, then moving to her back and down over Kerry's bottom. Kerry moaned, then reached out to caress Joni's chest. Another crazy night between Kerry and Joni took place. The next day, Joni and I took Kerry to get a professional mani-pedi. Kerry was none too thrilled by it, but Joni told her she needed to look her best for her job interview. Then we found a kiosk with inexpensive jewelry and got Kerry a couple of bangle bracelets and cute chain and got her ears pierced along with a couple pair of earrings. Kerry almost revolted over that, but Joni kissed her and calmed her down. Kerry, I couldn't believe my sister was so damned cruel. Sure, I got to be with Joni, but Joni pushed me even more towards being a girl than Celia did. I know I had humiliated Celia more than a few times when we were younger, but those were all brief, even if there were a bunch of them. Celia and Joni had me being a girl 24/7, it was constant humiliation. Now, beyond having to be a girl for them both at Celia's place, I was going to have to go to work as a girl too. Okay, I was getting a job, so I wouldn't lose what little I had left of my stuff, but the cost was beyond what I'd ever have expected. Monday morning, Celia had me dress in a nice skirt, then supervised me doing my makeup, correcting me as I went. A little later, Joni came by and picked me up and took me to her office. She took me to HR and said I was interested in the customer service position they had open. Joni gave me a referral and I started through interviews. The first interview was with the woman who would be my supervisor, assuming I was hired. She was friendly but quite businesslike. "It looks like you had a very good position at Smith & Company." I enjoyed my work there, but a major part of their business was with one client who left. When they couldn't immediately replace them, they had to let half of their staff go. "You weren't among the ones they kept?" "I worked almost exclusively with the client who left, and didn't have as much seniority as the people they kept." "This is rather a come down for you." "I'm just trying to re-establish myself and get a chance." "How do we know you won't be out the door as soon as you can?" "I want to move up, but I think I can do that here. Besides, Joni would be very unhappy if I bailed quickly." "I see that you're trans." "That can be an issue with many employers, but Joni said you're LGBT friendly here." "I assume you'll be using the women's restrooms." "I can't imagine I'd be particularly welcome in the men's." "Probably not. You certainly have the skills necessary for this job. My only concern is how long you intend to be with us." "In my parents' generation, they might spend 30 or 40 years with a company, but we both know that doesn't happen anymore." "Quite true." I went through 2 more interviews that morning, then met Joni for lunch. She told me not to get arrogant or take anything for granted, but with her recommendation I had a good shot at the job opening. I needed the job, if for no other reason than I needed the money to get clear of what Celia and Joni were making me do. Of course, even with money, I'd need to find a job where they knew me as a man. I had another interview before I got shuffled off to Human Resources. They had me fill out additional paperwork and provide identification and such. They were bothered because my ID showed me as male, so I told them that until I had the money to get that changed, it would stay that way. I really had no intention to have my ID changed to female, but I wasn't going to tell them that. They asked me if I could start the next day, and I assured them I could. It would still be weeks before I had a paycheck, but at least now I had a job. I hung out until Joni got off work, then she took me back to Celia's place. She had me get a change of clothing, then took me back to her apartment, since she wanted me to spend the night there. Joni, of course, wanted me dressed as Kerry all the time I was there, just as Celia did, so there was no great benefit, apart from being able to be with Joni. Joni prepared dinner, but insisted I help with the prep and with the cleanup. I suppose I was lucky she didn't expect me to cook, because honestly my cooking skills were quite lacking. No great shock, but when we went to bed, I had to start by spending time pleasing her the way a woman would. This story is about to get super steamy. The full version will be available on my Patreon. Link in the description. See you next time.